Ah, it's me, outdoors. Yeah, it's cold. Yuck. Winter and such. It's, alright, it's not here yet, but it's close enough. And I have a cigarette, though. It's sort of making it all tolerable. And that's good. Sorry. Navigating. So, anyway, that does make my hand a little jittier because I'm cold. But the leaves are a little wet, so they're quieter. That's good. Balance, right? So that's sort of the argument. People keep just making it all works out somehow. Somehow it's running a profit, the life game. And so, people are justified in playing it and imposing it, creating more of it, perpetuating it. Because overall it's somehow running a profit. Because they say so. Yeah, there's no other reason than they like to believe so. And they like to believe so in some way where they just say, well, because nothing says on it how much it's worth, that it has value. There's no price tags. We can just make it up. It doesn't have to follow the constraints of any kind of logical rules or sensible rules or reasonable rules of deduction or observation and analysis, right? The analysis can be lighting's a little better that way. Completely flawed. Completely yeah, erroneous and arbitrary. Yeah, so reality, they're essentially saying, is arbitrary and erroneous to coherent, rational categorization and understanding. And obviously I find that description of reality obnoxious. Oh, sorry. Cold, it really is cold. I don't like it. It's making my leg work funny. Yeah, sorry, that's causing me to walk funny. Which is causing more jitter in the camera. But you can live with a little of that. Well, you will have to. For the remainder of this video, anyway. Yeah, I have to. Well, who cares? Let me just get back to the subject. So anyway, just thinking about it just seems that this is all so simple. I was playing around. I'm going to do this Android thing, so I got a really cheap tablet just to play around. It's they're not bad, for $17. Yeah, it sort of beats the fuck out of an iPad. Price to production value. Anyway, I got on the internet. I could see web pages. I could press buttons. But the limitations are all, these new media limitations. It is kind of funny that I won't get into the technical thing. I'll just say that for some other videos. But anyway, it's kind of a simpler version. You're saying, yeah, you have to sort of change the design of things and simplify it and make it more obvious. And so that sort of got me thinking about this, going backwards philosophically to, get people out of these conventional, pedestrian, philosophical mode. Some asshole the other day did the same old bullshit of, the pigeonhole of, it's like calling somebody who says, we should have a fair, competitive economic system. And they just say, oh, communist. Bullshit. And so some guy did the Buddhist thing again. because you're suggesting there's something about life that isn't a profitable equation, that there's a circular addictive pointlessness to it all, then now you're a Buddhist. No. It's just it's a rational evaluation. It doesn't have to be a religion. And it's even that idea that people always have to turn it into something they understand, or something, the way they have interpreted reality. And it's just not fair. Yeah. God, really, I'm cold. Alright, I won't voyage across all those crunchy leaves. I'll let you go here and pick this up later. Probably indoors later too. It's just too damn cold. Really, too cold for me. But the cigarette was good, so thanks for that. Somebody didn't. It wasn't an internet supplier this time. Regular real world supplier. Anyway, just very nice. So, yeah, I'll be back. Sorry. I guess no leaves is nice, but I should have content. Anyway, I'll be back with that. There, I think I'm back. Just sitting. That's how they all sit on my log. Yeah. Anyway, big long log. Anyway. It's good. So yeah, it's just all so dirt simple. So I have to just keep working on the idea of just engineering it simple. So as I've learned from the Android tablet experience, yeah, simplify things, create a simple version of it anyway, and then you can build on that. If people are ready for something more sophisticated as an argument. But the simple argument is, yeah, it's evolution, and the simplest value equation is the realization first of the impositional nature. If you can't realize anything else, the sensible thing to realize is that life isn't free. It isn't something called, it's not in the gift category. It's not in the giftable category. Things that would be described as a gift can be reasonably. It's not in that category. It's in the category of something more dangerous, more risky than that. Gifts can't be fundamentally, dangerous. Something can't be fundamentally dangerous and be in the gift category. Possible gift. That kind of argument. It's just such a basic, simple, obvious argument. And the fact that you can't control this experiment. It's a serious experiment, not an unserious experiment. Existing is consequentially significant. There's significant things happening. Yeah. And with the word significant goes the word value, important. Necessary attention must be paid. You can't allow recklessness or incidental neglect to be the default position. That you don't have to exercise any of your intelligence because nature doesn't have any intelligence. Those kind of silly arguments. So look, I've just said it, right? In 5 minutes I've said it. That the fundamental argument is simple, and all you have to do is evade the nonsensical crap that people will come up with, like how do you know a fetus will turn into a baby, or how do you know a sperm and an egg, and when you combine them and fuse them into a zygote that they'll become a baby, it's not a person yet, or and then the really desperate who attempt to blow up the whole very concept that it is significant, that there's a significance to somebody being born with a horrible disability are dying in a horribly painful and agonizing and torturous manner. They will, with glib cruelty, is all the only word for it, negate that suffering as only happening to them, whatever that means. It's only happening to them, therefore no accounting is necessary. It's not part of the universal account. It's not the part of the accounting that one does for life itself. What happens to the players has somehow nothing to do with the game. It doesn't make any sense. The playability of the game. I think what happens to the players has everything to do, since there are no spectators, right? There's just players. I think what happens to the players has everything to do with how you assess the function of the game. But yeah, this isn't complicated. And it's only been made complicated by traditional notions of fluffy rhetoric and fluffy ideology and, fluffy categories, where it's about some symbolism. Life is big and puffy and flowers and butterflies, and that is how it's drawn. That is the picture given to people, and it's only death that's associated with skulls and evil and nasty, and so it's an entirely inverted reality. The reality is that non-existence is the blissful, peaceful, quiet, bird chirpy kind of place, and it is life that is the dangerous, swamp-infested, crocodile-infested, bug-infested, you will die infested, you are doomed infested crap hole. It is life that makes things die. It is not death that makes things do anything negative. Being dead is not the bad state, but it has been associated with being a bad state because it's anti the butterfly. Yeah. And then it's not anti, it's just un. There's a difference between something un and something anti. That's why they're different words. Yeah. That's why we have we don't say anti-conditional, we say unconditional, because it's a different word than anti. So undoing and being against are not the same thing. Preventing and stopping or discontinuing or probably a better discontinue can be prevent or cease to permit. Yeah, but ceasing to permit is just undoing. It's not an offense. It's preventing the offense. It is preventing the creation of the victim. And that's a good thing. Preventing victims is good. Anyway. So, that's enough for this portion, and maybe I'll throw a summing upper on the end. Oh, we'll see. I'll have another cigarette later. Make a video for each cigarette. Yeah, they do please me. Anyway, go figure. Yes, a stupid little burning bit of bush. Could have such an effect. Anyway. But that's addiction for you. Stupid syndromes. That's all we got. It's a little gnarly here. Yeah, I probably should have turned the camera off. Well, maybe I can do the falling down part. I have very cold fingers. That would be even more fun to fall down. Yeah. So, see if there's any plants left to save. I did cover them, but probably didn't cover them adequately for as cold as it's gotten. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Get to it. It's very autumn though. Very gray. Very anti-life. Yeah. What you doing back there, cat? Hmm? He's living back there. This one's living down here. Hey. Hey. Food. Want their food? So much to do. So few bees to do it. I'll keep using that line. Let's see one of my plant protectors. Yeah, it seemed to have worked. Anyway, I've gotten so preposterously lazy. No, I'm not really lazy. I'm just distracted. So many distractions. Cats. Meow. You have a house outside, yes you do. He goes in, he just comes out again anyway. Till next time. And such. Alright, back indoors and such. Next day actually. Yeah, my hair's a little weak. Wow, what a great beginning to a video. Anyway, I think I'll throw this in here because it's the middle of the video and not too many people hear it, and so there probably won't be a problem. Because I don't want people to create a whole bunch of channels, but I was just thinking having some kind of shared channel, just because I can't create any more YouTube channels, and I want to do just I want to do some videos on Android and mobile browser rendering, and because I've started playing with these devices, and it's just kind of funny that the performance is really poor, and I'm surprised people are tolerating how bad it really is in terms of how websites display and being able to actually make them work. So anyway, yeah. Oh, sorry. Bad timing. It should happen. I'm not going to start over. It's a whole minute. So if somebody wants to create a channel, some kind of droid us, droidite, droid something. It's mostly going to be Android crap. Just fuck Apple. Anyway, so if you just want to create a channel, willing to give me the password, so I can just sign in. So I just can't do the mobile phone thing to get the 15-minute limit and all that kind of crap. So if you can do all that and make a channel that's actually you post videos on without complications, that's all. I just need something I can sign into and post videos on. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Weird thing is, well, yeah, I mean, if I changed the password, it would be your phone number, so they would call you. It is kind of funny, right? And you wouldn't have the password, so yeah, that would be a weird circumstance. I don't know what would happen in that circumstance. But anyway, I assume it would be somebody I trust that'll do this. So, because I don't know you, it's no point in doing it. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to post videos on a website created by nobody. Anyway, so if you're also interested in this subject, it might be a good idea then. But anyway, so maybe rational access guy or something. Well, whatever, I should just said it privately then. Doesn't really matter. We'll see what happens. Whatever. So anyway, so I was listening to this pre-show thing they did, and it was a couple hours long because of daylight savings time, and you could see the part where they kicked me out of China Chat where I always tested the Android. So that is kind of funny. But anyway, and so yeah, it was pretty good. I haven't finished it all, but yeah, people do fine without me, so that's good. So anyway, and then there's an Anaconda VOD video, so I figure, well, yeah, I'm used to touching shit now. Hey, I touched it, it didn't go. How come?
But yeah, it's just annoying because you have these workarounds where you can actually do something with the browser, and then the browser doesn't play videos or something. You're like, what's the fucking point of having all these extensions and ability to do something if it can't play videos? Shit. Anyway, so we'll do this Anaconda thing.
Well,
Yeah, wow.
absolutely delighted by the responses in the comment section to the video where I made challenging Matt Dillahunty, or somewhat accusing him of being tyrannical with the truth, or with his version of the truth.
Yeah, whatever. That truth being that what you have to actually make decisions one way or the other. The fence sitting thing is just absolute nonsense. You don't fence sit on the idea that Bugs Bunny is a real character. Either if you can't draw a conclusion about certain conspiracy theories and wacky ideas, then there's no cohesion. There's no logic. You're just saying basically, I don't want to be a logical, rational human being because I want to pretend any kind of made up story is possibly true. What's the point? I mean, there really is no point in talking to somebody with a thinking mind because they're going to say, why would I do that? Why would I make everything conditional so I can't do anything called reasoning?
It's in line with what I've said seems to be a strange process that takes place in people's minds, particularly people who self-identify as atheists. I guess we call them, I don't know, strong atheists or whatever.
Yeah, right. And that being that you're atheist because why? Oh, that's right, because you realize that all these theories of life were written by people who didn't know shit about anything. They didn't know what a microbe was. And so why would I accept a theory of life that's basically a fable and a lie where they thought there was boogeymen behind the trees and there was ether in our brain and all kinds of other silly nonsense. They thought feelings happen in your heart. Yeah, why wouldn't it be just perfectly rational to say those are silly theories and now I have to do something where I look at the evidence and let the evidence point to the truth? I don't get to point to the truth because I like it, because that's what they did in the past and it was bullshit. Now you have to point where the evidence goes. You let the evidence point. You let the evidence say this is where it's pointing.
Where they seem to replace the God of the Bible with the God of the rules, allegedly, of logic or whatever they...
The rules, allegedly. And all the rules are is that words have consistent meaning. So when you call something silly or a fable or nonsense or made up junk, then when you say made up junk, that means that the stuff is crap as any kind of actual theory that has no evidence basing it. It's just something somebody said because they want it to be true. I want it to be true is not a way to find the truth. Saying, what do I want the truth to be? That's not the same thing as saying, what is the truth? So, clearly, if you're not asking the right question, you're not going to be able to get the right answer.
Consider the rules of rational discussion.
Again, let's just remember, the rules are that the words dictate the logic, okay? The logic is built into the structure of reality. And all you do is try to, if you accurately describe things, the words will create the rationality. The words will create the logical pointing. The evidence will do the pointing if you fairly describe the evidence. Yeah.
Whereas I sort of say I abandoned, I don't know, religion for that reason.
Right. You abandon religion for what reason? Because what? It's like logic? I'm sorry, that's a preposterous nonsense. Religion has nothing in common with logic. Nothing. It is exactly the opposite of logic. Let us make up a fable that says you can never modify the fable. I mean, the first rule of the fable is never change the fable story. This fable story must be forever. So, yeah, you create your dogma that you can't, and you make it a rule that you can't edit. Where is the logic in saying you're not going to allow the evidence to change the fable you're writing?
that I don't want anything sort of ruling over me.
I don't want anything ruling over me, like responsibility or obligations to reality or obligations to, yes, functionality. I don't want to hear about this idea that somehow I have to run a profit. Well, why can't I just steal everything and take everything and not even worry about that? I mean, that's all you're saying. And it's really, really stupid for intelligent people to have conversations about why it's okay to be a complete asshole. I mean, you're making intelligence ludicrous. You know that, though. Because that's your intention. Because you've concluded reality's too hard. So you're not going to do it. You're going to join the idiocracy. So you're just putting on your dumbass cap and saying, I'll just join the dumbasses. So I won't have ignorance as an excuse. You know, that would be great. It'd be great to just say you're ignorant, but you know you can't do that. So instead you're going to make up this little fable that, oh, you were just, you just didn't want to accidentally, describe reality a little bit wrong because you committed to something. So you'll just pretend it's, well, I won't make any commitments to reality and therefore I can, it's almost like being ignorant, but it's not quite the same excuse. I'll just pretend, I just won't look. I'll hear the air hissing out of the tire, but I won't look at it. Because if I look at it, then I'll know it needs to be fixed, and I have to take responsibility for fixing it. But if I don't listen, if I don't look, I can still maybe know it, but I can pretend that, oh, it's a snake that's hissing. I can make up some kind of crap to evade reality. Bravo.
Particularly something that may not even exist. May not exist in the way that I assume that it exists. So...
may not exist in the way that I assume it may not exist. I don't know.
I've gone from a position where I assumed I believed in God, although I didn't.
Right. Well, you didn't really believe in God, right? You were just born into a religion. You put on their silly dress and said, okay, let's see if I can do this silly dress. No, this doesn't really work for me. So if you don't have any other costumes I can wear, yeah, I'm not going to be in the religion play. So I'm going to go find a theater somewhere else and play some other game. That's all you did.
I see. It's not quite so simple as I believe in God or I don't.
It really is. You either believe there are things called fables and there's a thing called reality. And it's just not that complicated. And you say that, yes, there's evidence for the real thing and there's no evidence for the fable thing. And the fable things are just made up to make people feel good. They don't have any other function. They're just bad guesses that were guesses manipulated for a purpose. They just talked about the shiny city on a hill to get people to do the thing, right? It's like the revolution. Thomas Paine just, he said a lot of crap. And he was a nice guy and all that kind of crap. And he's sort of committed to something in principle a little bit. But the real idea was just get some suckers to die so we can get rich. Sort of.
Anyone who's ever gone through something like a crisis of faith will tell you. You often don't know if you believe something or not. Or you...
Well, whatever. So that's enough for me for now. You often don't know whether you believe something or not. If you don't know, you have to claim ignorance or something, right? I mean, there's some things you don't know. Like somebody might not know how many cubic inches convert into, whatever, volumes of foot-pounds or some kind of bullshit, right? They can't do the conversion. So they're not knowledgeable. But you're not claiming a lack of knowledge. You're not claiming that you are totally ignorant of the subject matter and therefore can't make a decision because you're, got this blank look. I don't know what these words mean. You do know what they mean. You know what evolution is. You're just not taking any responsibility for it. You're just evading it. And that's not logical. And it sucks. So anyway, till next time. I mean, I don't want to make this insanely long. So, see you later. I hit the button.